into the conversation.
All right,
We can
guys.
see who the tech wizard is here.
Definitely not me.
I'm the band manager, that's why.
He's the band manager. Brianna, you should be in our next performance.
Not that, Matt. You're recording the backup. Is that right?
Well, I'm not exactly on the vocals. That's Matt Miller.
Right. Yeah, I'm just saying this conversation. You've got the backup recording, right?
Correct. I actually did the production of our last one.
There you go.
Switching between screens.
Good.
No. So, let's see, who's this? Oh, nice. All right. So slowly people are going to start chiming in because they'll see my post. Wow, look at that. We got everybody coming in. So I'll start it off. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to, let's see, everybody is muted except for Brianna, Brad, and myself. So thanks, guys, for chiming in on our virtual attempt today to chat with you guys and learn a little more about QR. I'll give my history of QR. That was my dream bike in 1999 was the Tequilo. I think some of you guys saw it at camp. Heather St. Amit had one. It was the purple and yellow, and I wanted one of those so bad. I was trying to buy it from Max Cycle, and back then it was like the #1 tri bike in the world, and it was $999. That was a high-end tri bike. And then 2002, I was a QR wetsuit wearer. Been a big fan of the company, and then I first met Brianna. Where was it, Brianna? Neat.
Ironman Chattanooga.
That's right. We became best friends 7 years ago, right? 15, 16, 17.
Oh my gosh, is that really?
6 years ago. I think you had a fake ID probably at the time. And so we all met at Ironman Chattanooga when I was it was 2014, and Brianna invited us to a breakfast at a hotel where Jesse Kropelnicki from QT2 was speaking, and then so I got to learn a little bit more. I got to meet Peter, got to meet some of the QR crew, and then over the course of the next year and a half, we continued to see them at races, and that's when we decided. We actually decided in January of 2016 is when we had a meeting, you and Peter and myself and Tony. We were in Tampa, and we were at the Ironman Partner Summit, and that's when we decided we would partner up with QR, and it would be 16, 17, 18, 19. We're on our 5th year now, right? And we were one of the first virtual teams like this to do it. And now you guys, you work with a lot of other teams and you're growing. And I got another one I'm going to send you away. So that's the base history with QR. I personally am on my 4th PR6, I think. I started out with a rim brake one, and then maybe I'm on my 3rd. I'm on my 3rd. Yeah, my 3rd PR6. And I've got an SR5 road bike, which I ride a lot and I love. And Laura Lee has a PR6 that's custom painted to match the base kit colors. And then clearly we love our wetsuits. And I was excited for this summer to try out the new speed suit, but I've not gotten to try it out yet. So anyway, so Brianna.
We repainted your tandem for you and Charlie as well, and took care of that.
Okay.
To match your kits, and so you're all matching because we do all of our paint. But
great.
Now we need to get you on a gravel, but we'll get into all that. The SR5 is going to be the hot topic here, but we want to start and go down kind of the product line. It's easy to send you pricing and it's easy to tell you what the difference is between the bikes, but it's not always easy to grab Brad and have him tell you the differences behind the bikes and kind of show you a little bit. So the newest addition in the PR series is the PR6-2. And we'll kind of go through the PR6-2, how it's different from the PR6, trickle down into the PR5 and the PR4, and then we'll jump over to the SR5, touch base on that. I know that's a really big, exciting new addition. We're very excited about that. Brad and the team has put a lot of work into that. And then we'll go into the Ocoee side and touch on the Lightspeed side as well. I know few people have been jumping at the Ocoee boundary and baseline, and a few have been grabbing some tie bikes. So we've got everything there, and of course we'll touch on the QR swim too. So I kind of want to pass over to Brad. Brad's been with the American Bike Group family for a very long time. You've probably seen him at the factory. If you go to Kona, you've seen him there. He gets down greasy and dirty. So he can kind of take it off. He's at headquarters right now. We're still transitioning back into the office. We haven't really stopped, but we have social distance quite a bit. So I'm in my separate office, home office. I was at the factory today, but we'll be back again tomorrow. So he's got all the bikes in front of him, so he's going to be more hands-on, but we can take it and answer questions and go through the whole product line.
Great. Brad, which bike?
Right on.
What is that one you got right there, that matte gray? That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, so a whole lot of new product you guys are going to be hearing about this year. We're not going to go over everything tonight, but what's on the surface and what's on the streets right now is something really, really cool. The PR6-2 has just been released. PR6-2, if you're familiar with PR6, it's been our mainstay for a number of years now. The 6-2 is about 10% lighter. It's 11% stiffer. It's got integrated hydration, integrated charge port for the Di2, and also a T47 bottom bracket shell. And what T47 is a threaded bottom bracket rather than the press fit style that everybody's been accustomed to in a lot of different standards on a lot of different brands. So these are some really key features that have not only improved performance, but what levels of performance we're looking for, whether that's the laboratory analysis, the stiffness, the weight, and so forth. But aero is where we've really, really been focused. Oh, look at there's Matt. So our accessory development, being with the Q box, the top tube storage, and now integrated front hydration. We're being very, very careful in how we develop these products. We never, ever, ever want to create a system that slows the bike down, for one, but also I think the thing that's driven me crazy over the years is when all of our needs aren't considered in the bike's most efficient fashion. We would develop very, very fast bikes. I'm going back, 10, 15, 20, almost 30 years ago, but the development would focus on the bike, and then folks are putting their nutrition, their hydration on the bikes, and all it really did was slow it down. You see tubulars strapped under the saddle and things taped to the top tube. That was hideous. So as we've further refined all of our system integration, all of the accessories, every time we do that, we're looking for more aero advantage. And so the PR6-2 is now at that top level for us. Any questions at this point on 6-2?
So I'll ask, when you say and I'll just stand next to mine real quick, and LJ is over here building furniture for Laura Lee. Where is it stiffer? Right.
You're going to notice, you're going to notice it when you stand on it. When you're out of the saddle, when you're accelerating, that's when you'll notice it.
Right.
You will not notice it aero, inline. You will not notice the stiffness from an abrupt ride quality. We've actually enhanced ride quality.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how is it? So what I like about it personally, guys, is like for me, I hated like my junction box battery chargers way down in there. It's terrible to try to charge it. Now it's going to be right here, right?
It's actually right here in the back of the head tube.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Which is awesome, which it's like that on my road bike. And then you're saying it's also about 10% lighter. So like, what is that in pounds?
Yeah. So yeah, it's, in total, you're going to be looking at about 130 to 160 grams. So considerable, quarter pound. Let's call it a quarter pound.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the magic, we always say, oh, well, how'd you do that? The original PR6 was a bonded bike, like many and most carbon fiber bikes. It's going to have a few seams in it. We took out all the seams. It's a seamless bike from head tube to dropout. There are no bonded joints. There are no seams. And that required a very special new molding technology. And that's really what this PR60 is all about. We just slipped in some niceties with more integration.
That's awesome. I cannot wait to see it.
And I'm just going to address this question now because I know it's coming. The hydration system will not work on your current PR6.
Now, Brianna, at camp, Sam said that down the line, not putting a time frame to it, that you guys are going to make an adapter kit for it.
Yes, there will be, but
No adapter kit.
it'll be a new system. It'll be something new, but we don't have that on the timeline right now. That's not really something. It kind of threw off of our schedule with the whole COVID-19, everything like that. So
yeah, Matthew, to be very specific on that, if we were to theorize what might come, it would probably be a $500-600 conversion. It may require a fork. It certainly would require stem. There's so much to it, and then the availability of the initial parts really are only dedicated to 6.2. So I really don't see an upgrade kit coming. But there again,
So you see a new bike coming, is what you're telling me.
we certainly, the 6.2 is the new bike. And there's
No, I meant in my future.
in your future, possibly so. It's really not an easy system because we're on the front of the bike. It's a great safety hazard. If we cobble something there that's adapted, I wouldn't feel good at night that system would. It was originally designed to be there. With the 6.2, it is.
Fair enough. Thanks a lot.
You got it.
And now to add in amongst, for us on our team, I think, and Brianna, you would actually know this more so. I love my PR6, and I love like the PR6 II and stuff like that. But let's talk about the most popular bike that is most of our team members have, which I think is the PR4 and the PR5, and why those models are so prevalent. I mean, a lot of us can't afford a super bike of $10,000 to $12,000, but we can afford a $3,500 bike. And look at that paint job, which is what makes it, what we love about Quintana Roo is soup to nuts. I mean, it's I got asked a lot. Everybody knows I'm really good friends with TJ Tollickson, who owns Diamond Bikes, and TJ wanted to work with us for years. I'm like, TJ, you only offer a $10,000 bike. I'm like, maybe 5 people on my team can afford a $10,000 bike. A lot of people want a $1,900 to $2,500 to $3,000 bike, plus the capability of now a road bike and also a gravel bike and titanium bike. So I wanted to be able to have more opportunity for our team members. So yeah, Brad, tell us a little bit about why the 4 and the 5 are the perfect bike for our team members.
So in the 6.2 and the 6, we have a very easy fit X, Y fit system, coordinate system. So that's something that is unique to the 6 and the 6.2. When we move into the 5, we've now moved to a conventional stem. And with the conventional stem, we're back to essentially bike shop fit principles. We're working with a length of stem, an angle of stem. We're no longer working on an XY fit grid. And that really simplifies the buildup of a PR5. It brings the price down considerably. We no longer have an integrated fork around the head tube. It's a conventional fork with a single steer tube. The conventional stem. It adds a level of simplicity by parts in the buildup. But there again, it requires a little more expertise, or maybe a little more old school experience in how the bike is fit and positioned for you. So that's, Brianna's holding the 2 stems.
So this is your conventional stem, which gives you, more adjustability. This is what you see on the PR5 and the PR4. It's positive rise, negative rise. You have more options with this. When you go to that super bike setup that Brad was mentioning with the PR6, these are your only 2 spacers really that you have adjustability for your base bar. So depending on your fit, sometimes I do suggest with people, and people can chime in and tell you this, that I say the PR6 is not the right bike for you. You might think you want it because it's lighter and more aero, but if you don't fit on it, if you're not going to be comfortable, it's going to be a waste. So this is the PR6 stem where it just sits, and you can put your base bar on top of the risers, in between, or on the bottom. If that makes sense to you?
Yeah, the PR5 and PR4 are going to have a broader fit window because you can interchange essentially any aftermarket stem. We stick with profile designs, but however, if there's a integrated bar system, all the way out to a very high angle stem, it really broadens the fit window and capability of the bike.
Awesome. Love it.
And the PR4 and the PR5, we're able to price them, more aggressively or cost friendly, whichever way you want to say it, because PR4 is limited paint options. We take that out of the question. So your PR4 disc is going to be friendlier in your pocket. The PR5, we change the spec a little bit to make it more friendly on your pocket. That could be alloy bar systems. Now, if you want a carbon bar system, you let me know and we can adjust that to get you a carbon bar system. Whichever you prefer, we make happen because we are a made-to-order company. You don't have to go just off of that spec you see on our website. But you can see behind Brad that PR5 has the same integrated hydration system as the PR6 too. You have to use that profile design stem with that stem plate that they offer, and then you can use that hydration unit.
Yeah, same bottle, same system. It's a really easy changeover. And these kits, we do intend for these hydration kits to be available at events. So that's a fantastic slam dunk upgrade. I'll give you guys a little bit of insight also. I'm super excited. As of February, I was in the tunnel last, and baselining the 6.2, the 5, and all of our current options against Cervelo P5, which in my opinion and in my testing has always set the standard. It's a great baseline. What I've realized and recognized as we've taken the 6.2 beyond the Cervelo performance, and a big piece of this is further integration in the top tube storage and the new hydration. When we clip the hydration on in the way that we have with the PR5. The PR5 actually benefited more. It wasn't quite as aero as the 6, but its benefit and its gain was even more, and at some yaw angles is beating the P5 with their full carbon integrated bar system, with the mono pedestal system. So what's happened with the PR5 from an aerodynamic standpoint for this season is beyond our best competitor, aero competitors, top level bike.
Someone just stole your show.
Right on.
He woke up from a second nap, so sorry. He likes this type of stuff.
And so if you're looking to get the PR5 in a rim or a disc brake version, we can add that and have that bike delivered to you with that system already installed. If you want to add that to your current PR5 or PR4, you just need to order those parts from Profile, or if you see us at an event and we have that kit available, we can just add it to your bike. So that's kind of where you're going to, you'll see those extra options to be able to add them on. And I think it's just maybe an extra $150 to add that to your PR5. So it's
really cool upgrade. It's a great upgrade. Our options are amazing. We were just going through some of this past couple of weeks, but with the PR5, Brianna, I think your starting price is $29.99. Is that right?
With your discount, let me pull it up. So
yeah, standard retail would be $29.99. The team discount takes it well below that.
So, during the month of April, we have that extra discount, which is going to extend through the first week of May. The PR5 rim actually starts at $36.50, Ultegra with non-race wheels. But with your discount for the month of 30% off is $27.65. But if you're still under $3,000 with your standard discount.
Right.
So you get a bike out of the box, non-race wheels, rim brake, mechanical shifting for under $3,000. You just can't beat it.
That's a steal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that bike will option out wherever you want to take it. I mean, you could go with Envy wheels, you could go with zips, you could put power, dual-sided power. There's so many cool options. This bike is capable of all of our options, and that's really the beauty of the PR5.
And custom paint.
Custom paint.
And
What, 12 standard colors, and I forgot how many different graphic colors.
It's just above 25 stock color combinations. So,
right.
And finally, our bike builder is live. So you can go on our Quintana Roo website, Ocoee bike website. I mean, you don't really have to do much on Lightspeed, but you can click the base color now. It shows up on the frame and the decal color, and you can build your bike and have fun with it. It's more interactive. There's a lot of variables to that, so it took about a year for us to rebuild the back end before we went live. But you're able to build your bike, and it shows the wheel set that you pick. It shows everything. It shows the upgrades. So before you and I press go, you can essentially build your bike, send me a screenshot of what you're looking at, and we can go that route instead of just saying, I think I like the black with the yellow or the purple with the pink or whatever it might be.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to do a quick little demo on that. So, I love my bikes. My SR5 road bike is currently on the trainer, but it's getting some, I'll put a good 100 miles on it this weekend. So I do all my training right now on the road bike. I haven't ridden my tri bike since Daytona in December. So
wow.
Yeah.
It's been really cool following some of the Ironman VR, and I was cheering on Matt Hansen this past weekend, and I wasn't surprised to see that 2 of the 4 guys were on their road bikes, and that was pretty cool. Matt was on his tri bike, and Frenchie was on his tri bike, but Niels and Hoff were on their road bike, so it was pretty cool. I love seeing the use of a road bike. It's really I love seeing Peter go out on his training rides here. He uses a road bike a lot.
And Peter wanted me to make sure that I told you all that he is racing every weekend on the VR races, and he is still training, and he's still engaging, and he's still doing it. So he's out there with you all. He knows it's tough, but we're all in this together. So he's having fun with it. I kind of wanted to segue into the road bikes here.
Yeah.
Just as we're leaning towards it, but Beto did have a question. We are considered, mostly made in the United States. We do fall under those NAFTA regulations. So if you are a Canadian athlete, or something, you don't have to, you're only responsible for your province taxes. We receive all the raw carbon frames in-house, we finish them, we paint, we decal, and we fully assemble. So we are falling within those NAFTA guidelines. And so we are pretty much made in America, as much as we can be at this time. We're trying to do more. We'll continue that, but that's, our main goal. So we've really upped our game on the carbon side to be as much made in America that we can be. Canadian. So there's no duty imports. It's just your province tax. And we can always triple check and run you your quote based on where you live. You can, but it usually comes back in DHL 0. And when it gets to you, you're just required to pay your province tax because it doesn't show up on our end. So we're getting some pretty good, pretty good shipping rates right now too. We work really hard on that to keep it down because we know the bikes are expensive and we don't want to jack that up with shipping rates. But transitioning into the road bike side of things, this is very exciting. Brad and team have been working on this bike for a very long time, so I kind of want to let him take this and tell you all about it.
Right on. So draft legal has been something that we've been pushing for. And when I say we, it's really the entire team here at QR and you athletes and many others have really helped support us in justifying creating a draft legal race bike. Aerodynamics, stiffness, ride quality, that's really what drives this bike. The difficulty in creating a great road bike right now is that standards have changed so much. If we'd done this bike and what we had on the drawing table 2 years ago was so different from this bike, the tire size capability was much less. Braking was different, of course. But then again, we started to recognize some of our competitors were creating bikes for electronic only. They weren't even mechanical capable. And we just didn't feel like that was really the route to go. However, we did want to go completely internal with the cables. And that full integration put us a little bit on our heels in working and finding the right system that makes the bike easy to fit, easy to transport. We really didn't want to create any extra headaches by internalizing the cabling. And so far, our feedback has been home run on the challenges that a bike like this theoretically should pose. And Matt, you may want to speak on that just a little bit because you've had some time on the bike. What you're feeling as an owner and in the cockpit? What's your input?
Well, Matt left. He got peed on.
How funny!
Hey, it's not. That's normal, but
Or did Matt do the peeing?
Well, while we wait for him, a lot of the times the questions that I get are, where does this bike stack up against? You know, what are its competitors? And we talk about the felt, the specialized options. You know, where was this bike going to stack up against? People, want to know.
So from an aero standpoint, top of the scale. We're right there in the fight. I don't have absolute data on each and every of the newest, latest, greatest. I know we're better than a number of those. I don't know on 2 of those bikes. However, what's driving me a little bit crazy, and I love this in a road bike development, so many of those guys will dive after stiffness. And they're going to create this laboratory monster that shows the best stiffness results in the laboratory. And those of us that have road backgrounds and work greatly off experience as well as science, we realize that the bikes that have the greatest numbers in the stiffness realm are the worst riding. And then the ones that are the absolute lightest have the shortest fatigue life. And so it's that beautiful balance of strength, weight, ride quality, and then in this case, pure aerodynamics are the absolute game. You guys may want to chime in here with some of the stats that you're aware of, but in our wheel testing, the best wheels as far as the bike system, the best wheels you can go out and buy, and let's say price is no object, they're going to get you about 16% aero efficiency. The worst really, of the contenders in the aero wheel market are going to get you 9-10% aero efficiency. Our $3,100 bike is over 20% in aero efficiency. So even, just the bike itself is giving you way more than the best set of wheels on the market. And that's what aero road bikes do, not just ours, but, if you go out and look at the competitors, they're much further up the price range. However, that goal is to bring you aero performance greater than a set of wheels would, a premium set of wheels. And so we're well beyond that with the aerodynamics of this bike. Any other questions?
I'm gonna just chime in. So the common questions are the SR5, when's it available? It's available now, it's launched. You will make this general, announcement to the public with probably an e-blast or something next week. We held off on that just because of everything that's been going on. They are shipping, we're taking orders, not just to team members, but just for everybody, the general consumer, which I like to call, because, they don't get special treatment. They do get some special treatment, but not like this. They've been getting the bike. They've been riding the bikes. They also, the SR6 doesn't have a release date yet. We have pushed that back. There's just some things that we weren't necessarily ready to go with on that. So we have pushed that back, and that will be available hopefully later this fall, towards the end of the year. But we didn't want to release something that we weren't happy with, and
it's just part of the development cycle, Brianna. That's we develop products and we trickle them up. And with the SR5, we're bringing incredible value. We're not we're extremely competitive on weight, at the top of the class on aerodynamics. The ride quality, I think, is absolute best in class. So the 5 level in this bike was something that we wanted to bring to market first because it was most logical. To bring in a halo product and trickle it down isn't always the best approach, and especially when we're broadening our market segment. Quintana Roo hasn't had a draft legal road bike, and so to bring it in and make it most affordable, we felt like was most proper.
I love mine.
Awesome.
Yes, now that you're back, how has it been on the bike? You haven't ridden your tri-bike in a while, so.
What's it like being on a road bike with no cables?
I love it. I mean, I think I don't know. Is it all, I haven't looked for the cables, but I guess it's.
Yeah, there's none. There is zero.
Yeah.
No cables.
I mean, there's nothing.
And there's no binding. That's the sweetness of this system. Our sales manager, he's a Cat 1 roadie. He just, the theory of internalized cables are driving him crazy. He feels like there's binding. There's no way that can work. And it's so fun every time we've got a bike built delivering for order or a prototype we've been working with. I always roll it over to him and get the opportunity to say, feel how smooth this is, because I'm wanting to put this system into other bikes, and he's the guy that's a little bit hesitant because the technology is new, but the experience is fantastic. So we've obviously got to get Brianna. We've obviously got to get Chris on one of these and build his excitement level.
Yeah, he needs to get on the bike more right now.
Once a day isn't enough. Yeah, once a day isn't enough.
And so on the road bikes, are you guys still going to come out with the flat arrow road bars? And
That's an option. We're delivering that as an option. We're going to be using the full FSA systems. Those are far more developed. We do not want to be in the handlebar business. The prototype you saw me riding in Kona is not something we want to bring to market. We're not handlebar guys. So that was I'm not sure how that got communicated or miscommunicated, but that was purely a non-existent component. However, a full integrated bar stem combo is available in our options, and that's the Vision Metron. It's a beautiful bar. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to put that on one of Laura Lee's road bikes, and she went with the Envy ones. But yeah, the Vision, it's an integrated, right? Stem, bar, flat, and then underneath it is where the old junction box went, right?
The old junction box, correct.
Yeah.
However, the really critical finite bike speckers are all going with the individual stem and handlebar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just from an adjustability and fit and position standpoint, it's something that I see more often than not. It's guys like myself, Peter, that really love the fashion of a full integration system, and I'll compromise my position to look a little better. So
It's all about how you look.
It is. It really is, for sure.
Look and weight. Nothing else matters. I'm
Yep,
weighing 200
absolutely.
pounds right now, but as long as I look good on my bike and my bike looks good, that's all that matters.
Brother from another mother. I love it.
Right. If you didn't notice, I had to go change clothes. If anybody wants to take a guess what happened with this, he just had a little accident on my lap earlier. That's why I had to get up and leave. Awesome. Well, I'll go down and show my road bike, and then tell us about what's the latest with the wetsuits. For those people who don't know, Quintana Roo actually invented the Triathlon wetsuit. Now we're talking long time ago. But so tell us, what, your different. You got 2 different levels of wetsuit now, or is it still just one?
Nope. We have 2 different levels. Hydro 6 and Hydro 5. It follows the same naming convention of our bikes. Hydro 6 it's got so much Type 40 Yamamoto SCS neoprene. If you guys follow the material technologies, Type 40 is uber elastic, 500% elasticity. You can design a suit super small and it will stretch. It fits like skin. You really have to wear those suits super tight. They're not for everyone. Also, the balance of a top level suit, you typically balance forward. You don't want to elevate the shoulders. You don't want to lift the torso. You want to stay engaged. And so our Hydro 6 is a top level performing suit. A lot of the Type 40 neoprene. The Hydro 5 is going to bring in a little bit more of the Type 39. The cost difference from our standpoint is substantial. However, we've created more buoyancy and actually lifting torso, a little more full lift in the Hydro 5. It's really, we've compromised seam count minimally. I've only added seams above the knees, so it's a non-functional area of the suit. And one of the things I think that everyone that tries our suit will, if you're explained the technology and the absolute panel design, is we have so many fewer seams. Seams take away from the technology of this neoprene. If we've got this 500% elasticity material and we start cutting through it with seams, now in specific directions, we may go down to 200% elasticity and lose all the benefit of that fantastic material. That inhibits stroke, and I'm out here stroking off the camera, but it will inhibit stroke. We feel like we've got the most neutral, freest swimming suit on the market. And that should be in the Hydro 5 as well as the Hydro 6. We did keep a good amount of Type 40. Type 40 typically doesn't exist in mid to lower level suits. We've got an enormous amount of Type 40, even in the Hydro 5, and it's in the shoulders and arms. But if you notice, there are only linear seams in line with the arm. So those seams don't inhibit turnover. And so it's a very intelligent design, something that we really encourage you guys to get in the demo and try these seats out. But what you'll notice between 5 and 6 is balance. I like the 5. I'm not a super strong swimmer. I enjoy more buoyancy, and I can't really gain the benefit that the 6 offers me.
There's also a good, I mean, unless you have both suits in front of you, you can't really tell where the seams are, but the team has done a great job on our website of showing the different materials of where they are. A lot of people ask, what's the difference between the 5 and the 6? And Brad nailed it. It's the seams, it's the different materials, which also contribute to the buoyancy. So you can go onto our website, hit the swim tab, hit the wetsuit tab, and you can scroll down and I'll show you the brand comparison. And you can see the full chart. Click on that. You can see where we line up with, the different brands. And then you can also click on the Hydro 5 or the Hydro 6, and it will show you, a wetsuit comparison chart. It'll show you the features of the Hydro 6. It'll show you the Hydro 5 features, and it'll show you the buoyancy profiles of each of them. And each number and color is associated with a different super stretch material and thickness. It's not very thick, but it does contribute to the difference and different features of each wetsuit. And base athletes get a discount on pretty much everything that we offer across all 3 of our brands. And so it's a 25% discount off MSRP. And I do have just those prices to spit out. So for the Hydro 6, and the MSRP is $5.99, you pay $4.49 with free shipping. So we're doing pretty good there on pricing. And then for the Hydro 5, the MSRP is $4.79, and with your discount, you're paying $3.59. So you're getting really good wetsuits at a really good price with that awesome base performance discount.
Aren't you guys still running the special where if you purchase a new bike through the end of April, you get a free wetsuit with your purchase?
Thank you, Chris Brown, our sales manager. We're not supposed to combine offers. That's supposed to be to the general public.
So the email that we received doesn't pertain to the BIT team?
No, I'm sorry, but we can talk about it. Send me a good email and we'll see what we can do.
Brianna goes to bat every day. I love it.
You're supposed to get just the base performance email, but if you say you've come onto live chat and you've chat with somebody, that puts you in like a general email blast area that we obviously need to clean out. So you're getting different e-blasts and everything that we've figured out. So not necessarily going to say no, but just don't be mean if I have to say no because somebody else did.
You don't have to say no to me. I already
It's
purchased
kind of-
the hydro. I already
I
purchased
mean,
my
it's kind of
Hydro
the
6.
field that we do for the base team. Like, you know, I'm running into issues right now. Like, let's say the gel deal, and it's gone out, and then more things get lumped onto it, and you're like, man, I'm trying to do a good thing on this and hook you up with a discount, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, but I want this, this, and this. And it's like, oh, it just doesn't feasibly work that way sometimes. So I hear you. If you buy if you pay full tilt for a bike, you know, you get a free wetsuit, pretty much what it is. But if you're on base team and you get 20 or 25% off and you're saving $2,500 on a $10,000 bike, maybe not.
Yeah, kind of, you know, you compare it to car shopping. It's like you can pick, you know, which savings you want to do. You just can't combine them all. I'm not going to say I can't give you an extra discount if you're buying a bike and, you know, help you out there. You know, we're all family here. You know, as Matt mentioned earlier, we've been together for a very long time. I will always push for more for each and every single one of you on base and every single one of the teams. So contact me, ask me. I will bring it to the person that has to approve it and ask them 3 times until they say no. But we also have something new that not everyone can use right away, but it is something to think about, which are the swim skins, the speed suits, which I find very exciting because we will be racing soon. And I know that Brad has, you know, a lot of information on this. I know that Rachel's raced in these before. She's got them. Matt hasn't had a chance to try them on or race in them, but we have it in a sleeved and sleeveless option. And you get a discount on that too. Your discount for the sleeveless is $159 and your discount for the sleeved is $143, and those ship free as well. So you can see the sleeved option here. They look nice and fancy. The color schemes are the same as the wetsuits.
So guys, these are made from the top level Italian Carbico materials. We use a blend of the materials. The panels of the suit, once again, are the magic in how a suit works. The linear seam count is very low. It's a Matt, you may be able to. I'm not sure if you've had your suit on, but the suit's really it's a great compression suit. YKK quick release zippers. It's all the best materials. We really worked on neck comfort, a supple neck, minimal seams, the sleeve and sleeveless. Not everybody knows, you know, why you would choose to go sleeved or sleeveless, whether you roll down your race suit and want to go sleeveless. That's, you know, that's an option. But it's such a good product. This thing has been R&D through our pros. Our pros who were having swim skin problems are really where this project originated. And I was really surprised at the amount of rash that was going on with top level suits. We're going for great compression. And holy cow, what Matt and Jocelyn and a few others were having through the neck, along the bottom of the arm and so forth was just murderous. And so it gave us a lot of goal and opportunity in how we created this suit. And we're really fired up about it.
And just, you know, you're not able to try them on in a store. You do get 14 days from when you receive the wetsuit or swim skin to try it on, get in the pool, get in the water, wherever you can swim to confirm that it fits, that you like it, that it's right for you. And if it's not right, you can exchange it for a new size or just get your money back. We want to make sure that you like the product. It's the same thing as our bikes. The bikes have a 30-day return day policy, but you know, we want to make sure that you're happy with it. So keep that in mind when we're chatting and discussing sizing. I speak with Brad daily on sizing. whether it be bikes or wetsuits. I always go to him, for that advice, because he's in there. He's the brains behind a lot of this stuff, so he gets the measurements. So if I ask you funky questions, it's because I want to go to him with the most information I can to figure it out. So some suits will be better for someone with a longer torso, or if they've got longer legs, so longer inseam. So that's how we kind of figure things out. So if you do have questions about sizing, don't be afraid to ask. We can work through that. And, hopefully it does work for you, but we do have that option to send you a size. You can return it, or if you want to buy two and see which one's best, return the other one, get a refund. People have been doing that as well.
Right. And our sizing does not cover the bandwidth of some of our competitors. There's some occasions where we say, you're just outside of our sizing. Here's a suit we might recommend. But we play sort of the 90-10 rule on how we've developed these suits. We knew we weren't going to be able to hit every size category, but we really fit the majority of long course athletes pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Not pretty well, really well.
Yeah. Anyone else got any questions?
I just want to touch, I'm going to pop over to the Facebook page. I did make a comment for anybody to leave questions if they can't join or didn't get a chance to submit them, but I want to make sure that we touch base on the Ocoee boundary.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Honestly, we always have a lot of PR series interest. The new ones, of course, are the SR5 and the baseline and boundary, which are the all-road or gravel from the Ocoee line. So I'm just going to let Brad touch on that. I don't want to keep us here more than an hour. We're kind of teetering over that. And so we can touch base on that. And whatever questions that you have, we didn't get a chance to discuss. If you want to take a look at pricing, I have these price sheets already made with your discount applied. So you can see the MSRP, you can see the discount. And if you want a quote on a specific bike, I can create that for you, send it so you can compare with what you're looking at, or, whatever, so you know that your discounted price is applied. So just send me an email and we can chat. Give me a call, whichever is easiest for you.
Jay has a Ocoee and loves it. He rides that thing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous.
Awesome.
I know it's Jay and I and Finn, we could all ride the same size bike. Well, I mean, maybe Finn and Jay can. And I'm tempted to just go take that thing out and ride it around town because I need to. So, yeah, that's my.
Yeah, and I'm seeing some great questions, Beto. Thank you so much. You've made some really nice comments about how much you value your QR and how good of a product it's been to you. We really, really appreciate that. Everybody, we welcome your questions. There are no questions that shouldn't be asked. If it's water bottle placement, aero efficiencies, component or nutrition related, and the integration of how we use these products, we're super passionate about the products that we develop and we deliver. So we really enjoy your questions. Your questions and input are what really drives our R&D. So it's super important. As I'm reading some of these questions and comments, I wish we could follow and hit every single one of them. And we will try to follow up with you and make sure that we're interacting properly. On to Ocoee. We've been in the gravel bike business for a good while now. We had, it's so funny, it was mostly triathletes that were asking us for titanium gravel bikes. And one of the early adopters and beggars, if you will, was Dan Enfield. Dan came to me, please build me a custom titanium gravel bike. I got Peter's permission to do so, and Dan and I had a great time on that project. And what Dan didn't know is we already had the first titanium, the first light speed gravel bikes in the works. So I got to push this through with some priority, and that was fun. Over the years, gravel has really come on so much like the sport of triathlon did with us. through the 80s and 90s. And this has been a great experience that I'm loving personally. It's the number that I really enjoy pinning a number on and going and doing a really good gravel event. What we were missing as a company selling extremely expensive hand-built titanium gravel bikes, we were missing the fun that we have with our Quintana Roo customers in triathlon. And we have the relationships with our carbon molding shops. We have the relationships with all of our component suppliers, and we just felt it was time to develop a product range, sort of as a kid brother to Quintana Roo, more so than Lightspeed, because it's really that value stream and that supply chain that we're trying to bring to you in super value, super performance products that really hit the nail on the head. If you haven't experienced gravel, trust me, you don't have to have gravel roads to enjoy a gravel bike. The gravel bike has all but replaced my high-end road bike. It's something that, you know, it's put me in better form. I can go out and enjoy my Tuesday night road rides, which is a nice group. I can do that on knobbies. It's something that I didn't think was possible, and I measure this down to the absolute wattage. It cost me an extra 8 to 10 watts to set in on my gravel bike than it does my road bike. And so the bikes are so useful. I'm doing, like I say, 90% of my road riding on the gravel bike, but then it gives me the opportunity to get out and explore. It's probably the best money I've spent as a cyclist. It's the best money I've honestly ever spent, and certainly enjoy it the most. So that's really where the birth of Ocoee has come from. We also have some mountain bikes and all-road bikes, which are really geared without the burly gravel capability that I enjoy. They're really a little more road-centric for those that know they're not really going to go beyond a park path and enjoy the road, the true pavement, a lot more. So our product range is pretty broad for a small off-road brand. But like Quintana Roo, we're very specialty in the products that we're offering. Tire clearances, the features that you're looking for in a gravel bike, I highly encourage you to look for tire clearances that are above 700 by 45C. It gives you the ability, like we do in triathlon and road, we need multiple wheel sets. We need more stuff, more toys. But in gravel, oftentimes we may want to increase the volume, and we can step down to a 650 rim size and even broader above 50C widths, and really get a cush ride, high traction. These bikes are just so comfortable, and the range of gearing is a little broader. So I'm seeing not just myself, but friends who are accessorizing the bikes a little more, maybe putting a front rack or basket, doing some shopping. But then again, they're probably spending the most hours on it on the weekend. Is that my gravel ride started out, and I was going out for nice, enjoyable 2-hour rides, and by midsummer, I typically find myself up in that 7-8 hour mark, doing some crazy stuff. So let's have some questions on gravel in general, because I take a lot for granted when I start speaking in this realm.
What's the Ocoee frame made of?
It's carbon.
It is carbon. All right.
Yeah. We go with a high grade of carbon. It's the high durability carbon that is so good for time trial bikes and triathlon bikes. A lot of people don't know this, but you just typically don't build a triathlon bike out of the grades of carbon that of the climbing bikes that you see in the Pro Tour. Those grades of carbon are super fragile, and they don't make good bikes to be bounced around in a transition area or on a gravel road. So our experience and knowledge in composites is sort of linear with triathlon and gravel.
And then what's in, Matt Hurt asked the question, does Ocoee have the same paint options as the QRs?
They have their own color matrix, so to speak. There's currently 20 combinations available, but that doesn't mean you can't get it painted like your QR. We do offer that custom paint. So if you have, your bike that you like painted the way it is, you can have it custom painted. I just had someone yesterday want her boundary to be painted the cool mint color because of her PR5.
Yep.
So it's going to be the same exact color, the gloss coat instead of this, different finish we do on the Ocoee. But, you can go onto the OcoeeBikes.com website and build the bike just as you would on the QR side. And, we've got the sand color, which is that kind of beige khaki with 4 different decal colors. There's a pine, which is a darker green. There's a graphite, which I think I like to call it a blue-gray. And then there's the orange. And then there's that matte blue, which is actually the same matte blue that's in our QR lineup. So just for color reference.
And that's something I want to speak up on that just a little bit, because that's something that's special about you guys as team members. You guys have Brianna as your as your liaison, and she goes to bat and makes all of these custom options available that aren't available, just through our website or through a dealer. So that's something that team members kind of have a special benefit in, that I see Brianna processing custom orders that other folks typically don't get to.
Questions on price point. So we have the RX group set and then the GRX group set that's now available. So we've got a couple more build options right now than what we started with. I think before we get into price points, maybe this is a very good question that I've been asked quite often in the last 2 weeks. What's the difference between the RX group set and then the GRX group set, which is the gravel specific group set that Shimano's just come out with?
Okay, so Ultegra RX was Shimano's first step towards a broader range Ultegra level rear derailleur. It wasn't a front derailleur, it wasn't a set of shifters, it was simply a clutched rear derailleur. What a clutched rear derailleur does is handle the vibration and the undulation of off-road use. So they had integrated a clutch, they gave them a broader range of gearing, and that was really a stopgap for Shimano. The Ultegra RX system was brought in whole as a new group set, getting new hood shapes, new gear ranges, new front derailleur capability. It was a whole new product range. So there's some relationship. However, I really like, because I have a road background, I love the Ultegra RX. So to me, it's a little shinier, it's a little classier, it's a little higher end in my mind. However, the GRX, it really dots every I and crosses every T that RX did. So it's a really complete full group set specific to gravel.
And then just hitting on that price point here, with your added discount, your extra added discount right now for the RX group set, the Boundary 105 starts at $22.09. So you're getting the 105 RX group set, complete bike with wheels for $22.09.
Wow.
That's incredible. And then you go all the way up to the RX DI2 option with an upgraded wheel set. That's $33.53 with your discount. There's options to upgrade your wheels. We've got correct me if I'm wrong, Brad, it's the new head wheel set, or is the NB? The head.
The heads, yeah. You can run the new Aroica heads. It's the latest, greatest thing out there.
And then, we've got an EE Silk seat post, which kind of, has been a popular upgrade.
Those things are so great. So great.
And that kind of takes away, what is it that?
It's
shock
it's
absorption.
it's the constant vibe and some of the hard shocks. It just numbs it all. It's really a good product.
And then, just the baseline, which is more of an all-road, same frame, different gearing, but not as wide of a tire clearance. That's going to be a little bit less. So you're looking at $21.24 up to $32.73 with your discount. Now that's an incredible price point here. The competitors for the Ocoee are, Canyon, Salsa. That's who you're kind of competing with your quality, but you're still getting that really great price point. Now, if you go to the GRX, your discount is going to be for the Ultegra Mechanical. It's going to be $31.35, and then the Di2 GRX is going to be $37.99. So that's what you're looking at price points right now. You do have your in-house financing available if you want to jump on the gravel side of things and slowly ease into it. You have that to take advantage of.
Hey, Brad.
Yeah.
What's the sizing like in comparison to, say, the road bike or the tri bike frames? And do you guys help out with sizing the appropriate frame size for those, or?
Absolutely. So yeah, you're going to size this very much like a road bike. I encourage downsizing just a little, fit and position. If you're comparing road to gravel, we shorten you up a little bit. We like to keep the same torso angle, however, bring the hands just a little closer. Yeah.
So, sometimes if I've spoken with you for a PR6 or PR5 or PR4, we've asked, how tall are you? What make, model bike are you on now? Fit numbers. When we're exploring the gravel side, this bike, we'll ask, how tall are you? What's your inseam? What size road bike do you typically ride? And we'll compare the geometry and come up to sizing along those questions if you don't have any fit numbers for a road bike.
Right.
So
And the sizing is extra small, medium, large, extra large.
T-shirt sizes.
Yep.
Which are the same as the SR series as well.
And if you want to have a conversation on the sizing and for us to convert it to numerical, that's no problem at all. We speak numerical as well as t-shirt sizing. So t-shirt sizing keeps things pretty simple.
If you haven't noticed, Ben has learned to walk.
Walk straight to run.
He's getting into everything. So
that's awesome.
And then Julie wanted to know, what's the difference between the gravel and cyclocross? How does that differentiate?
Awesome. Great question. Cyclocross bikes are designed for under 12 miles per hour, typically about 8 miles per hour, rounding cones, tape and cone type courses, very tight quarters. The bottom brackets are a bit higher. Steering angles are a bit steeper. So geometry is very different. I've seen, as cyclocross came to America, we Americans typically repurposed touring bikes. If the bike had cantilever brakes and drop bars, we thought it was a cross bike, and we were silly Americans for thinking so. It only took us about 10 years to figure out that high performance cyclocross bikes have very high bottom brackets and steep angles. Now that we've adopted gravel, that good old touring geometry would actually be better, where it's a bit lower, a bit longer, very stable. But we as Ocoee and what we've been doing in Lightspeed is a little more road derivative, in that we want to keep you in a high performance position. We don't want to put you in a super slack touring type position. We want to keep you up on the pedals, power down, and really benefit from efficiencies. It's only in the head tube that we will typically slack it out just a little bit, put the bike on autopilot where it really steers super stable. You don't have to think about it, and it's really a good experience. The modern gravel bikes are just such good geometry, and it's pretty it's a nice blend of what we had in touring bikes and road racing bikes, but it is nothing like a cyclocross bike. Yeah, it hurts me to go to events and see folks who are riding, a 5 or 6 year old cyclocross bike and doing a 6 hour gravel event. It's just, the bike was designed for a 1 hour event at most, and definitely not on the terrain that we ride gravel.
Does anybody have any other questions about pricing, sizing, discounts, specials, anything? I mean, you guys know how to reach me. You can send your questions to me directly. We can continue to answer these questions, via email, or you can give us a call. I would, Matt, when you post this, please share my email so they can contact me. That would be great. Email is always best. I don't check my filtered messages on Facebook. So if I don't get to you by then, I'm sorry. So dropping me email is always great. Even calling my office phone is awesome. I don't mind voicemails or talking on the phone.
You don't like when people send you a message through Instagram, text, Facebook?
Facebook, they get in the filtered messages.
Snapchat?
I just hate not knowing there's a message there. So
It's so hard to keep up with all the different levels of communication that come in. It's like, please.
I know.
Well, Matt, is that why you haven't responded to my MySpace
Yes, I know.
request?
I did a TikTok the other day. I'm always like, guys, please, I need it all. If it goes into one of these other ones, it just gets buried because, yeah. So I have a question for Brianna. Brianna, when was the last time you walked around the house and found like a 2-week-old piece of cheese and decided to eat it?
Never. I have a dog for that.
The things this kid puts in his mouth that he finds around the house. Oh, okay. So awesome. Well, let me see. I think maybe I'll figure out how to do this in a second, and I can try to unmute everybody. I don't have a clue how to do that, but mute.
Matt, there's only a few people on the phone. They can unmute themselves.
Yeah. So if anybody's got any questions, Colin. Hello, Colin.
He unmuted himself, and the background noise put him on the speaker view.
So no, I think I think this was great. This is did I do that? I don't know what I did wrong. No, I think this was fantastic. I'm a firm believer in all of the products. I like the company. I like the people that work for the company. I think it's fantastic. I love riding my bikes. I go really fast on them when I ride. I just don't ride that much anymore. They come to our camps and things like that. And Brianna, she's pretty cool.
Well, it's not often that we get Brad to join us for this. So thanks, Brad. I know you have a long drive home. You've been very busy at work. So thanks for joining us. I know everyone really appreciates you. And thanks to everybody who tuned in. We can't wait to see you all at races soon and get back out there.
Right on.
We're staying, we're paying attention to the race schedules and changing, and we're going to try and make as many as possible to be there for you all through this. So.
Yep, you better. Well, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. This was fun. This was different than I wondered how it would go. So this is great.
Yeah, let's do it more often.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow. Why not?
No problem. No, Matt, thanks to you. You bring so much quality to the sport. It's great to be partners with you. And, I really enjoy seeing base athletes come to the QR booth and come with great questions and great enthusiasm. You guys get it. It's just such a quality group, and we really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for everything. And look at Not That Matt and his dog. So thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I will try to figure out how to save this and download it and then upload it to the team page.
Matt, call me if you can't figure it out.
I'll send a carrier pigeon through MySpace.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Stay safe.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you later.
Cheers.
Bye.